They were the picture of perfection. Young, attractive, deeply in love. A couple straight out of a storybook, living a life that others could only dream of. Paul Bernardo and Karla Homolka, christened by the media as the Ken and Barbie Killers, appeared to have it all. Their smiles were radiant, their future seemingly bright. But behind the flawless facade, a darkness was festering. An evil so profound it would shatter the illusion and horrify a nation. The home videos showed laughter and affection, but they concealed a chilling reality of manipulation, control, and unspeakable acts. This is the story of how the dream couple became a living nightmare. Paul Bernardo was handsome, charismatic, and outwardly successful. Growing up, he was popular and seemed to lead a charmed life. Yet beneath the surface was a burgeoning predator with an insatiable need for power and control. His charm was a mask, a tool he used to lure and manipulate. He harbored dark fantasies that grew more violent and demanding over time. He wasn't just looking for a partner, he was looking for an accomplice, someone who would not just tolerate his darkness, but embrace it. And in Karla Homolka, he found his match. Karla Homolka was bright, pretty, and came from a loving family. To everyone who knew her, she was a sweet girl with a promising future as a veterinary assistant. When she met Paul, she was instantly captivated. He was everything she thought she wanted, but his affection came with a price. He slowly began to isolate her, twisting her devotion into a dangerous form of complicity. Was she a victim, brainwashed by a master manipulator, or was she a willing participant, driven by her own hidden desires? The line between the two would become terrifyingly blurred. Their relationship wasn't a romance, it was a deadly partnership. Together, they began to act on Paul's violent fantasies. Their crimes started small but quickly escalated, culminating in a series of abductions and assaults that terrorized the suburban communities of southern Ontario. Young women began to disappear, leaving families desperate for answers and a public gripped by fear. No one suspected the charming couple living in their midst. They were hiding in plain sight, their clean-cut image the perfect cover for their monstrous activities. The first victim they took together was a teenage girl, lured into their car with a deceptive story. The horrors she endured are difficult to comprehend. And yet this was only the beginning. The most shocking and heartbreaking crime was yet to come, and it would strike at the very heart of Karla's own family. On Christmas Eve 1990, under the guise of celebrating the holiday, Paul and Karla targeted her younger sister, Tammy Homolka. She was just 15 years old. In her own home, surrounded by the trappings of a happy family Christmas, Tammy was drugged and assaulted by Paul with Karla's assistance. Tragically, she never woke up. They made her death look like a tragic accident, and for a time, the world believed them. The family mourned a terrible loss, never suspecting the monsters responsible were sharing in their grief. For over 2 years, Paul Bernardo continued his reign of terror alone, abducting and murdering 2 more teenage girls, Leslie Mahaffey and Kristen French. The community was paralyzed with fear. Police were inundated with tips, but struggled to connect the dots. The Scarborough rapist, as Paul was known from a previous string of assaults, had escalated to murder, and he seemed invisible. He moved through the world with an unnerving confidence, a predator who believed he was untouchable. All the while, Karla stood by his side, the perfect supportive fiancée and later wife. The turning point came not from a brilliant piece of detective work, but from within the monstrous relationship itself. Paul's violence, once directed outward, began to turn on Karla. The abuse she suffered at his hands became increasingly severe, and the perfect facade began to crack. Fearing for her own life, Karla finally went to the police, but she didn't confess. Instead, she crafted a story that painted her as another one of Paul's victims, coerced and terrified into silence. She offered to testify against him in exchange for a deal. Prosecutors, desperate to convict the man they knew was a serial killer, agreed. Karla Homolka signed a plea bargain, receiving just 12 years in prison in exchange for her testimony. It was dubbed the deal with the devil. The public was outraged, but the full extent of Karla's involvement was not yet known. The crucial evidence was hidden away, a series of videotapes the couple had made of their crimes, which Karla had failed to tell investigators about. It was only after the deal was sealed that investigators, acting on a tip from Paul's lawyer, found the tapes hidden in the couple's home. The tapes revealed the horrifying truth. Karla was not a terrified, passive victim. She was an active and at times enthusiastic participant. The footage showed her helping Paul, laughing and showing a chilling lack of empathy for their victims, including her own sister. The nation watched in horror as the details emerged. The Barbie, to Paul's Ken, was just as much a monster. The plea deal, however, was ironclad. While Bernardo was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole, Karla Homolka would serve her 12 years and walk free. The case of the Ken and Barbie Killers leaves us with profoundly disturbing questions. How could such evil hide behind such an ordinary, even attractive facade? It exposed the chilling reality that monsters don't always lurk in the shadows. Sometimes they are the people next door, the ones we would least suspect. The media's focus on their appearance, the Ken and Barbie label, highlighted a dangerous cultural tendency to be seduced by beauty, to believe that what looks good on the outside must be good on the inside. The story of Paul and Karla is a stark and terrifying reminder that evil can wear any mask, and the prettiest faces can hide the darkest secrets. Thank you for joining us in the shadows. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more tales that were never meant to be forgotten. Stay safe and always be aware of the whispers around you.